Odd, I thought I had some video that I went to edit up, to put a video up of some things I've been doing, and there was no video on the memory card, so I played with the camera a little bit. I think the memory card was just bad. I have some older memory cards I've used a lot, so I just put another memory card in, and hopefully it's recording now. And so anyway, I'm going to show you a little bit of what I did yesterday. I have some video that did come out, but most of the video on that memory card I was not able to retrieve. So here's one of the things. I picked up a fan shroud from a 66 LTD with a 352 with air conditioning. I just thought it'd be nice to have a shroud on the car, just to help keep it cooler and slower traffic. And I bead blasted it. It's zinc chromate primed. I'm about to mix up some paint and spray it. It's got some little pits in the bottom there. That's nothing that I'm going to worry about. It's off a parts car, so it's not anywhere near brand new, but the part you see looks really good, and it'll look nice on the car. And also, the fan blade's kind of exposed there, so it'll help, if somebody leans over the hood and the engine's running, from getting their fingers slapped by the fan blade. And no, I didn't paint the hood because yesterday was kind of crummy most of the day, and it didn't turn nice until about the last half an hour or so, and I don't feel like painting it now. It's just too late to tackle, by the time I get everything out and get everything prepped. And so I'll probably do the hood maybe midweek or something. Not a big deal. I've been moving because I needed to get my bead blast cabinet to get that fan shroud in there. And now I'm moving stuff back and forth. So after I paint that shroud, I'm going to start just sanding in here for now. I didn't do anything on the car itself yesterday. I just did some other things like that. Fan shroud, and I'll show you what else I did. Fix the air hose. So that's not going anywhere. Squeeze down pretty good on there. I might wrap some tape around this just so it doesn't nick anything or scratch anything. I usually like to, the hoses that I use for doing body work, I like to wrap, the end, so if it does hit something, it doesn't nick it or damage it, or, I just like to be careful of things like that, so that's why I'm going to tape it out. Bill had sent me a couple of convertible top cylinders off of a parts car he had, because mine, the push rods, or these pistons, were all pitted and corroded, and one of them was leaking, and you can see a snap ring in there. I don't know, yeah, you could probably get to the seal, but you got to take the cylinder apart to get that seal out. You're not going to get it over this component here. So anyway, these had paint and were dirty, and I videoed cleaning them up. And like I say, none of that. I thought, well, I'll video cleaning these up, and then I'll just play it super fast, like some of the other guys do. Well, like I say, when I went in to edit, zero video. So anyway, I got the cylinders cleaned up. These lines will be coming off, obviously, to attach the new ones, and I'll purge all the, make sure there's no fluid in them, maybe flush some clean fluid through them. Just put this into some clean fluid and work it, and then I'll run the pump with the other cylinders disconnected and flush it all out and put all new fluid in the top system. But I just wanted to show these. So I do have another set of convertible top cylinders. Another thing that Bill sent me was the tacking strips for both sides of the convertible top, for this side and for the other side. These are what hold the, and I don't know if I got which side where, but this I think is this side. But anyway, I had the right one the first time. But anyway, these are what kind of hold the top in. The top tacks to this, and then that bolts into that channel. and that's what holds the top in there. I'm glad I kept the original top and it's all marked the way the shop manual stated, because that's going to be needed when they go to put the new top on the car. I'm going to have probably Shelby trim put the top on the car. So anyway, I'm going to get to painting that fan shroud. There would be a nice coat of acrylic enamel and gloss black. That will be good and durable. I find that things like this, the dirt that goes through the radiator and hits the fan, eventually cleans the paint off unless you use a good quality acrylic enamel. Fan blades on this car were void of paint from wear, from centrifugal force throwing the paint off, and for the dust and stuff that comes through the radiator. Literally stripped it down to the bare aluminum. The blades are aluminum, this is steel. And I think they're aluminum. They were devoid of paint. They weren't rusty. They looked aluminum. And so painting them with this paint, and the same with the pulleys. They spin too, so I paint them with acrylic enamel so they don't get devoid of paint too from spinning in dirt. And the same with the shroud, you know, as that fan flicks bugs and dirt and everything around in here, it eventually erodes. That's why these get nasty looking and rust. And if you paint them with a good quality paint, you don't have that issue in the future. So I'm just going to let that dry up, and maybe in a week or so we'll install it. I'm just going around getting all the old weather strip out of the channel before I start sanding in it, so I don't load the paper up with the old rubber. Best thing is just a flat bladed screwdriver. Just go in there and scrape the stuff out. There's like a factory auto body, because this is a joint right here. You can see the joint. I don't know if that shows up or not. So there's a joint right there, and there's the auto body filler from the factory in there. But I just kind of want to get all the loose scaly stuff out that's in the channel. Then I'll probably put a Scotch-Brite on the Dremel. I'll get in there with 80 grit with my finger and get as much as I can. And then I'll get a Scotch-Brite on the Dremel and clean it out. I was just sitting here. I'd been putzing with that for a while. And I cleaned that seam sealer out of here. And there's a little leaded joint right there. That was seam sealed to there, and then the lead on. There's a little bit of lead there, but that all needs to be cleaned up. I need to clean that out. A lot of cleaning, and I gotta straighten. There's a little dimple there still. This was smashed from where the bumper was twisted in, and I believe I think that, you know, these connectors here, I think were for utility trailer lights or some type of trailer lights, because that's what these connect to the correct color wires to run lights on a trailer. And I think that they put one of those U-Haul clamp to the bumper. You remember those back in the 60s? I clearly remember there was a Texaco in Romeo where I grew up that was a U-Haul place, and they would put these trailer hitches that would clamp onto the bumpers kind of haphazardly, and I think that's what caused all the damage to this, because there's a little bit of damage exact same place on the other side, and the bumper was bent in like they backed it into looked just like they backed it into the tongue of a trailer. I've seen enough bumpers with trailer tongue damage on them, and that's exactly what it looks like. And the problems on the ends are like where they would have attached the hitch, and there was another one in the middle like where they had attached it. So it totally makes sense that they probably put a U-Haul trailer on this thing. And, you know, the car was originally sold new in Florida, And obviously from the stickers on the dash, somebody went to college in Brea, Ohio, which is part of Cleveland, and they probably towed a utility trailer behind it to go to college. And that's probably what caused this. I'm assuming that's what caused this damage on the quarter panels, on the rear panel. This is the rear bumper, and you can see that dent right there. That's consistent with like backing it into a trailer. And then you can see these marks here, and there was another mark here, and then on this side you can see a crease mark right here, and when you get the light just right you can see it down in here. So this rear bumper needs a bit of straightening. It's kind of stoved in slightly, but that kind of, and you can see some deep gouges in it there, and I'm thinking that that kind of was from a U-Haul trailer. That totally, one of my comments on this car was they probably towed a U-Haul trailer with it, and I tend to think that's the case. This is the time-consuming stuff, just going around and, everything, this little bit here, most of it needs to be done by hand, so just go around and do it. It's the only way it gets done. It's not going to do itself as much as I'd like it to. So I just use my used DA disc because often the center is still pretty good paper. It's the edges that mostly get worn out, so I can use it for doing things like this, save some, sandpaper. So you go around like that for a while, and eventually, it starts cleaning the rust and debris out. So I'm going to I want to get that channel. This is the time-consuming stuff, just sanding all this little nooks and crannies out, because I want to paint this green when I do the green that's necessary in the trunk. I don't know how much green is necessary. I'm going to see about ordering a quart of this spatter paint, because you can clearly see that was bare metal under that spatter, and everywhere it's just clear that they just painted the edges of the trunk with body color, and the rest of the trunk they just hit with spatter. And this part they didn't paint with anything. That was just bare metal. That's why that's so badly, so much surface rust. But that cleans off. I just got to get down into those nooks and crannies by hand in here. I can get these top surfaces with a machine, but to get down in there, this is the easiest. So you can see it doesn't take too much. I took a lot of the rust out of there, so I can get most of the stuff out. It's just like I say, most of it's just surface, and what's down in there. This is primer here. That's not surface rust. It's where there's primer. And that's primer. You can see the red oxide primer, and it did have some primer, but most of this area right in here was just bare metal, and get it all cleaned up so I can. Then when I'm done painting the body, I'm going to oil and undercoat down in there and around up in the wheel wells and in the rear quarter panels and stuff too, so none of that rust. I mean, you can clearly get in there easily now. I could even spray in there if the spray gun need be, which I probably will do with body color, but I gotta get all that sanded out. This side sanded out pretty good. That side I haven't sanded at all. I need to get in there and do it. So yeah, this is gonna be a few days of work here. Another thing too is I gotta go up to my dad's and do yard work. And I got to pack a lunch so I don't have to go in the house, pack food and drinks, and I just go out and do the yard work and leave. And I'm not even think I'm going to take my own machines up there or my own equipment. I don't even want to get in the shed or anything. I don't want to leave any cooties up there, so I'm going to be really careful. That's the last thing anyone needs up there is some cooties from this coronavirus. So, all right, I'm just going to call it a day on this video. I think that I'm just going to stay out here in the sand for another hour or so, but there's not going to be any more video of it. So if you like my channel, hit the like button. If you want to see this neat old Galaxie looking all pristine again, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching my videos.